coat before, just not this exact version. I wore a navy blue sateen version of this in the Synapse lookbook, and I just loved that coat, and I wanted to make a version I could wear a little bit more often because I actually wear black more often than navy, so I made this version in a black Bangolan, polyester Bangolan from moodfabrics.com. I added a magnet up in the collar this time so it stays this way, and don't worry, I'll be going over this standing / fold back collar with you very soon for a different project, which I'll talk about in a moment. But the quilted lining on this actually has very micro rainbow sort of stripes on it that blend in the eye from far away to this light greenish gray shade. And beneath this coat, I am wearing a black sateen dress that you saw me make here on the channel a couple of years ago. This is a high-shouldered, it's got a big shoulder pad in here, 1940s inspired dress out of black cotton sateen. I paired that with these big acrylic 80s earrings I found out antiquing recently, a belt with a gunmetal buckle from Banana Republic Factory many years ago, a faux leather pair of gloves, and a black Plastiflex from the 1940s, of course. And then I actually have on some holographic pewter-colored heels with this. And between the earrings and the heels, I really think this skews this a little bit more 80s, but of course we all know I love the fusion of 1940s and 1980s design. For this second look, though, we really are strictly stuck in the 1940s, although I think these earrings are modern, so we can go with that. But this is a amazing suit jacket from the 1940s, a true vintage piece as it were, that I picked up from Fab Gabs on Etsy, one of the most reputable vintage sellers in the game. And the skirt for this jacket, the matching skirt, has been lost to time, but I'm wearing it here with a very similar black gabardine skirt from my other black 1940s suit. This hat I picked up from Lillian Remains Vintage, another excellent resource for especially 1940s vintage online. But yes, black velvet hat, black velvet gloves, and then a suede pump from Remix Vintage Shoes in a black suede to kind of keep all of that matte. And then I punctuated that with the shiny clutch. This is a black snakeskin or reptile skin clutch in a nice asymmetric geometric shape from the 1980s. But I agree, the jacket is the star here. And speaking of amazing jackets, this is a Lillian suit jacket from the 1950s, late 40s, early half of the 50s, I suppose. Very nipped in with this very flirty peplum going on here and gathered bust shape over the kind of corseted cinched in waist. This is a tiny bit small on me. This jacket and its matching skirt were actually a gift I received, so thank you so much out there if you're watching, because this is, I mean, absolutely divine, especially to receive as a gift, as a present. And I do still need to let the skirt out because there's plenty of seam allowance to do so that I can have the whole matching set. But today I paired it with gray gloves and a gray flecked tweed pencil skirt, a different Plastiflex, and then some sparkling black rhinestone jewelry that I thought matched the facets of this Plastiflex bag well, kind of keeping a little bit of sparkle there. And then I just paired this with my black Maryland pumps from American Duchess Footwear. And we've seen this coat appear here on the channel before. This is from a brand called Twin Set out of Milan. I think it's a Italian sort of, I don't know, mid-level fashion brand. I got this jacket on Cetere on super sale. I just was really looking for a shiny black jacket for a more matrix kind of look like this. And of course, this is the entirely black faux leather outfit. The only non-faux leather item we have here is this cold shoulder sweater. This is from Macy's, from their INC International Concepts in-house brand. I actually quite like INC at Macy's. So if you are a department store shopper, which not many are anymore, I really like INC over at Macy's. They have a lot of nice things, and another sweater will pop up here. This long belt that I have tied here at the waist, a la Alexander McQueen, is not a McQueen belt because I'm not about to spend $1,600 on a belt. This is actually just from Target. I bought the longest size belt they had, that way I could tie it at the waist like this and have the tail hang down. These boots are from 9 West but are very uncomfortable, so I won't bother linking them for you. And then the skirt, of course, I made here on the channel, so I can link to that video below. But I really do love this coat. It looks great cinched. The only problem I have with it is that there's no belt loops, which is just a little bit annoying. And evidently the theme for the day is fantastic jackets, because here underneath this faux fur collar that I threw together myself, DIY'd a couple of years ago, this is a faux silver and black fox fur, of course. I'm wearing a black blazer here with pockets in the front. That is from Thierry Mugler with this lovely modernist brooch that I think Mugler would appreciate, perhaps. But this jacket is 1990s Thierry Mugler. I bought this vintage on Etsy, saved up for this one because, of course, these sorts of designer pieces are a little bit of a splurge, but I felt I couldn't go wrong with a classic black hourglass-shaped jacket from Mugler, the master, as far as I'm concerned, of hourglass tailoring. I do have a silver clip drop earring from the 1980s to match this rather exaggerated modernist brooch as well, and because this is Thierry Mugler, it snaps. So underneath I am wearing another sweater from INC over at Macy's. This one is in a silver metallic thread mixed with black to create this kind of gunmetal sparkle sweater here. Perfect, of course, for the holiday season or any time if you're me and you don't mind glittering. And with that, I have this very high slit pencil skirt. Of course, I wear a all black version of this skirt in the Synapse lookbook. This actually has a bit of a white fleck and is a little bit longer, so it's completely different, of course. And I made this skirt over on Patreon recently. Now this jacket you will see styled two different ways in this video. This is the first way. I have it just folded, funkily closed, so I'll show you how I folded this in a moment. But I feel like it gave a really cool origami kind of conservative in a more concrete kind of way, like a brutalist architecture kind of conservative look here. And this is actually a green pencil skirt, though you can hardly tell. It's very gray here on camera. It's a gray-green, army green kind of wool crepe pencil skirt that I found out thrifting one time. I paired that with a black and gray faux leather swirly little handbag here that I believe is from the 1960s that I found vintage on Etsy. But this jacket hooks closed with skirt hooks here in the front, and then I can fold the collar in many different ways, including all the way up just like that coat from earlier. But this, I just have the lapels kind of tucked in on themselves and folded in to create this origami look collar, and I think it's very fun and avant-garde without that much effort, honestly. I folded it like this on accident the first time and just really liked it. I'm wearing a soft gray knit long sleeve top under this, and then a gray faux leather effect glove, and then I finished the outfit with my black leather Maryland pumps again. And I will be drafting this collar and making this jacket with you here on the channel in a project video shortly. But longtime viewers will remember this dress as well. Quite a complex project from several years ago. This is my Blade Runner inspired dress that I made, inspired by Rachel's color blocked Adrian inspired suit from the original 1980s Blade Runner film. But I did make this dress here on the channel, so I can link the project video for you either below or in a card, depending on how many cards I have left. I always run out. Today I paired that with a large black Plastiflex clutch, some silver star-shaped big clip earrings, a Trifari Comedy and Tragedy Chantilly brooch, and then this large faux fur stole that I made out of two faux fur collars. A great hack for getting a giant stole, like kind of 40s glam fur wrap boa thing like this, is to grab two faux fur collars, just layer the middles of them closed, sew those together, and then you have this long faux fur boa to have your very glam Cruella de Vil moment. And who doesn't want to be a 1940s villain? I don't know. I certainly want to be a 1940s villain, and you can leave it to me if you want. That's fine. But this is the same jacket from a moment ago with the collar folded down and then belted again with a long belt from Target. I just bought the longest belt they had in this style. I don't know, this is almost like how Viking or medieval belts usually are styled for like Ren Fair stuff, but I also have seen them with buckles like this in high fashion quite often, but they're usually very expensive and they don't seem to have trickled down yet. The hack to that is just to buy very long belts and just let the tail hang down. I paired this with a black twill pencil skirt this time to match the collar lining and the accent on the sleeves, a faux leather clutch, and again, the Maryland pumps with this, and I will be making this jacket with you here on the channel in a video shortly. However, you have already seen the video for this jacket, just a different version of it. This is the same pattern entirely, the same paper pattern I used to create this jacket was the one that I used to create the cyberpunk multicolored twill and neon and metallic Tyvek jacket that I made here on the channel. I again will put a card up to that if I can, and then a link down in the description below. Same pattern used to make this. I just used all different textures of black fabric this time, including a black brocade that I made the matching pencil skirt out of, and a little bit of black brocade left over for some other projects, just piecing this all together, and then of course lining it with this iridescent stretch velvet here. This is a black stretch velvet with an iridescent foil finish on it that I used as accents on the sleeves, the back, and then of course the collar of this. I then finished the jacket with blue top stitching, like aqua top stitching, to match the iridescence on this fabric. I have a long, oversized 1980s black patent leather clutch paired with this, and then some two-tone patent and semi-clear vinyl 9 West heels, and then I have a black patent leather vintage belt that I picked up online ages ago. And then these are dichloric glass barrettes that I will link below for you, and a piece of veiling. But I was so happy to find these iridescent glass barrettes because, of course, they match all of my iridescent projects that I've been making over the past few years very well. And this is another project you'll be seeing here on the channel next week. This is how to add a cowl neck to the basic block, or in this case, the all-in-one sleeve version of the block. This is just my standard pencil skirt pattern, my standard all-in-one sleeve bodice pattern with that to make a dress. And then all I've done is modify the neckline to add a cowl neck on, and I'll be showing you how to do this in this project video next week when we make this dress together. This is a ombre, kind of geometric up close. It's kind of a pixelation look jacquard from moodfabrics.com. This is a polyester jacquard, and it has a kind of a strange weight to it. It wasn't too lightweight, so I thought I could get away with making this unlined dress. But I think in the end, this would have been even better if I had lined it, but c'est la vie. And this dress you have seen a version of before as well in Synapse. I made a version of this with long undersleeves. Here I'm wearing this with a mock neck underneath, a black long sleeve mock neck turtleneck t-shirt, and black gloves to kind of black out my arms, as it were. I think it would be great with black tights as well, but switching tights while filming, that's, a step too far, honestly. But yes, I made a black and iridescent version of this that I wore in Synapse. Again, this is the same collar that was on that jacket from earlier that you'll be seeing in that jacket video. So again, this collar is coming shortly. It folds up all the way. You can fold it in many different arrangements, but this is it on a cotton sateen dress in this black and white fabric, paired with black suede remix pumps. Again, a black 1940s clutch and a thin black and gunmetal belt. Again, this is from Banana Factory from many, many years ago. And here's that iridescent foil finished black crushed velvet stretch fabric again. Not as a lining, but as a dress all on its own, of course with a mock neck and long sleeves. I made this here on the channel recently. And this little chain mail iridescent chain mesh purse matches perfectly. I think I found this purse on Amazon a long time ago, trying to find something in this oil slick sort of colorway, so I'll link it below for you. And again, of course, this dress matches the fold backs and the accents on the jacket, so I can wear the jacket with this as well. And I belted the jacket with a long nylon belt this time for a little bit of interest in movement, as you can see. And I have belted this dress this time and paired it with my remix suede pumps. And another item from Synapse reappears. This is a stretch pencil skirt made out of a, of course, black patent leather finish fabric, a coated spandex fabric. This one actually has an iridescent finish on top of the black as well, which matches the iridescent black holographic sequins on this jacket. I made this short-sleeved black cotton sateen jacket with a double peplum and hand sequined this entire thing. So every sequin on here I sewed on by hand. I made this project over on Patreon over a year ago now, at least, if not longer than that. I can't exactly remember when I made this, but I do really love it. It's so sparkly and fun. I need to sew on even some more sequins, perhaps, because I have reordered more of these sequins because I used an entire, order's worth from Cartwright Sequins to sequin this jacket. Weirdly enough, I'm always patient enough to do embellishments and add more sparkles, but not necessarily patient enough to do other fiddly techniques, so that's just me. I paired this with a patent leather box handbag and then my patent leather and vinyl heels again, and added the oil slick sparkling feather headband as well. And finally, we have rather a simple outfit to finish. This is a off-shoulder asymmetric knit top, again, just like the styles I've been making here on the channel recently. I can link to the video where I showed how to make this top style below. It's actually rather simple and easy to make. This crushed velvet is from Joann's, by the way. It's actually quite nice. They've really improved the quality of their crushed velvets over the years, because when I was a kid, it was not as nice as this. This is actually very smooth and nice. But I went with AB Joy with this, and then I paired the top with a full-length mermaid skirt version of my stretch knit skirt. Let me know if you want to see the full-length version of this. It's basically just adding on a little bit of a fishtail to the knit skirt that you used to be made before. I wore this in the Halloween lookbook last year, so I made it extra long to pull very Morticia-like around my feet, but it does make it very hard to walk in. I would have to wear absolutely gargantuan tall platform heels if I ever wore this out of the house. It's long enough that it's great for pictures, but not for moving around in, sadly. And one doesn't really need that many accessories with this much headwear going on. So after the feather headband and the glass barrettes and matching earrings, I kind of just kept the bracelet and the handbag as the only additional sparkle for this look. Thank you so much, as always, for watching today, and thank you especially to my patrons for making creative endeavors and projects like this possible, allowing me to flex my filmmaking muscle a little bit more and fulfill my childhood dream of being a fashion designer in a whole new way.